Hi, Sag. Happy birthday. This is your astrology for the month of December. Sorry, I thought my notes were starting to fall down. I was like, oh no. So, anyway, happy birthday for all of you Sagittariuses. Whether you're sun, moon, rising, or Venus, this is going to be the astrology of what's going on for you for the month of December for the most part. First thing that Spirit is saying is um self-realization and making sure, I guess, that you're having the right people, the right groups around in your life to make sure that you're finding that self-realization. And this is, you know, up until I think it's the 21st, yeah. Up until the 21st, it's Sagittarius season. So technically, it would be in your self-awareness, your physical body, your personal appearance, your view of life, your image, your identification. Because the sun is in that house for you. Now, if you're a rising sign, it's still going to be the same house. It would still be the first house. But if it's like your moon sign, then this would be coming into your emotional depths of that awareness, of different layers of your personality and your appearance and your image and your view of life. Spirit is also saying for some of you, it is dealing with your reputation, your spiritual urges, your ambitions, and again, they're bringing up, are the right people in your life that's helping you connect to yourself. Anything else before I get into the astrology? I'm getting some of your own higher education, some of your own journeying of yourself. But they're really still just bouncing me back to self-realization. They're saying morals too. And for some of you, there's going to be issues going on with government as well. Which could be judgment, could be court, could just be government offices in general. Some of them are coming into different levels of responsibilities of your daily tasks. And where you're either finding or not giving yourself to find yourself, like the hidden self, part of that authenticity that you haven't quite yet discovered is what I'm getting. There are going to be physical changes. And when I say physical changes, I mean like within the material world. Some kind of shifting or changing going on. And for some of you, it's also going to deal with some of your financial success or financial responsibilities. But they're bringing me back to morals again. And knowing when to trust the spiritual, trust in yourself for the physical changes you need to make. Something is going to be coming in that's going to be, you're going to need to take action. You're going to actually, in the physical world, take action, make shifts and changes. And Spirit's saying, I guess it's like a warning as when it's starting to come in for the month of December and you're questioning, should you take action? They're saying, yes, you need to take action. This is something that in the material world, in the physical world, is going to shift you in one way or another. And you need to know, yes, take action. And some of you are going to have different levels of ceremonies going on. Could be ritual work. in some form. Because they're giving me it's all in that whole ninth house area. At least the idea of the ninth house area, which is, you know, philosophy, religion, law, learning, higher education, ethics, morals, spiritual urges, psychic energy, psychic wisdom, visions, journeying, rituals, ceremonies, and responsibilities of them. I don't know, I'm just giving you what they're giving me. All right. Now, as I get into the month of December, I'm just going to back up for just a moment, reminding everybody that at the end of November, Venus moved into Capricorn on the 25th. Now, not like Capricorn's not going to have enough going on this month. Venus is still going to be there for most of the month. Yeah, Venus is still there until the 20th in Capricorn. And Neptune will have just gone direct. Now, don't forget, Neptune did go direct, but it's still going to be in shadow. So, you know, that kind of alters its view, its appearance, how it's viewing things, where Neptune is for you in Pisces, and we'll check that out in just a moment. You have Jupiter moving into Capricorn on the 2nd. You have Mercury moving into Sagittarius on the 9th. You have the full moon coming in Cancer on the 12th. On the 20th, Venus moves into Aquarius. On the 21st, the sun moves into Capricorn, making it Capricorn season. And then on the 26th, you have a new moon in Capricorn. And on the 28th, you have Mercury moving into Capricorn. So even though it's Sagittarius season right up until the 21st, when it moves into Capricorn, everybody's already starting to get in Capricorn. For you, that's your universal second house, which is going to be all about your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. But let's take a look at the charts themselves as we start to get into everything. Hold on, it's making noises. I just want to validate what I'm kind of looking at here for most of the month. Give you a little bit more of a heads up. For most of the month, your energy coming in Sagittarius, the beginning of the month, is kind of having a little bit of a conversation with your 5th house. So your personal self-awareness, your physical body, your personality, your appearance, your view of life, your very core image of your illumination of self is having a bit of a conversation with Chiron in your 5th house, which is your pursuit of pleasure. This is your creative expression. This is where you find your enjoyment, your creativity, your fun, your inner child. This always relates us back to our inner emotional security of our own self-awareness. If your inner child is being able to have fun and enjoy life and be able to do things it likes to do and enjoy and have fun, you know, whether it's your hobbies, you know, dating, it's just being able to express yourself, play, have fun, and do all of that, is you're being able to get more right with that inner child and let its freedom out. Then it brings us back to our true self-awareness, how we feel about ourselves, our personal body, our core energy, our illumination, bringing us right back into that 4th house of our inner emotional security. Now, Chiron being here is most likely saying, because the conversation it's having is with the sun and with Mercury. So it's illuminating the communication that you have with yourself about where you are having fun and where you're not, where you are being creative and where you're not taking the time for you. and enjoying that. And it's pretty much having this conversation throughout the whole month as the sun's trying to move into Jupiter. And then it's going to be moving into self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. So it's asking you to get right with you, get right with your inner child, get right with your fun, and bring healing back to you, which will ultimately bring healing back to you. Inner emotional security of being who and what you are on a new authentic level. The only issue here is at the other end of Aries, which is that 5th house, is we have who I call Medusa, which is Eris is still over there. So Chiron and Eris are having a little bit of a problem because they're still within 30 degrees of each other because they're within Aries. But Chiron's trying to bring the healing in for the fun, the pursuit of pleasure, the creativity, your personal interests, and your enjoyment of life. But Medusa is on the other side saying, well, here's the trouble, toil, and strife that I'm still holding on to, and this is why I haven't been able to get that. So it's kind of like pointing fingers at the injustice that's been able to keep you from getting to that true enjoyment, that true depths of your creativity and your childlike interests that allows you to enjoy life, and what that will do to your core energy. Because the communication here is trying to teach you how to overcome something so that you can get better right with self. Now, the 2nd house is having a kind of a similar conversation, but not entirely. Let me explain first off. The 2nd house is your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. So it's going to bounce back to that 1st house. Even though, like I said, you're Sagittarius, you have the sun there. You also have Pallas there, which is Athena, the warrior goddess. She's the strategic thinking. She's wisdom. She's helping you figure out who you are, why you tick the way you do, and how to enjoy that. But then it moves into the self-worth, self-value, self-esteem of Capricorn. And this is telling you where you need to get more on point with being right with you, with being healthy with you, your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. Because you have Pluto here, which is all about death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, and regeneration, which was automatically going to make that deal with that 12th house a little bit. Your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem in question of grief, sorrow, shame, blame, hidden self, hidden secrets, denials, and how you overcome that. Saturn is asking you to set up new rules, laws, and boundaries to help you overcome that, so that you can get right with finding that inner liberation, which will bring out that expression and bring out, your inner emotional security, bringing your core to a strengthening. Okay, but you've got Venus in here, which is going to make it sensitive. And I don't see Venus as love. I always say Venus is she's your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, and your physical body. She tells you what she likes, why she likes it, and how to charm you into getting more of it, as well as she tells you what hurts and why it hurt and why you're resentful. So this is part of, like I said, overcoming some of that grief, sorrow, shame, blame by being sensitive enough to understand why you're having problems overcoming it and how it's been getting in the way of you getting to the true authenticity of yourself, the true depths of your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, where liberation hasn't been able to be found. And your core isn't as illuminated as it should because it was having this problem. And this is finding its way to have this communication right now. Sensitivity from Venus right now is going to bring it extra touchy. But that touchiness is to help you see what you need to overcome. You also have Ceres here, which is karma itself. It speaks to you of karma. It speaks to you of the threefold. Remember, whatever you believe, you are creating. Even if you don't want to believe it. You know, if you believe something about yourself that isn't positive, you have to retrain yourself to believe and know that it's better than that. And in the physical world, bring that belief to life. So this is how we create ourselves in that self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. And realizing where we nurture it or where we neglect it in areas that are harming or helping us. You have Jupiter moving in, bringing higher abundance, higher knowledge to this very energy. And it's going to definitely, over the whole next year, help that mature and grow, you know, strengthen that self-value. And that's a good thing, because it's helping you to get more on point with the true authenticity that's in you that you've denied yourself or haven't believed maybe even that you were good enough for. But you're going to start seeing that. But like you said, that's going to be Jupiter. It's going to be there all year. But you're going to be extra sensitive about it in December. And starting to see where things are being nurtured or neglected because of the threefold theory that comes in this area. It itself is having a major conversation again with that fifth house and that creativity, your pursuit of pleasure, your inner child, your enjoyment of life. But it's also having a conversation with the third house and Lilith. So this is asking you how you're communicating with yourself. I see Lilith as coming in as a feminine warrior. Like Mars. She's a dark temptress, but she's also bold enough to stand up for herself. So she's asking you in those darker energies of that communication that you have with yourself and with the other world, where are you letting yourself be put down and you're not standing in your fire? Now, also don't forget, this is where Neptune just went direct. So she's going to be questioning that fire. Because Neptune is where fantasy smacks you in the face with harsh reality. With the communication that you are putting out, as well as the communication you are putting to yourself. And how are you, like I said, it's magic. What are you putting out there? How are you creating yourself? What you believe about yourself is what you create. So Neptune is in shadow, and it will be picking, you know, at some of that self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, and that communication house at you, because it's asking you if you're coming into right understanding of your own personal fire, your own personal value, self-worth, self-esteem, liberation, core. You know, it's asking you about all of this. This really is the first through the fifth house is saying all of the same thing, kind of. It's all having that communication, trying to help you strengthen that inner emotional security and find a reincarnation for karmic lessons to be learned and bring healing forward. You're seeing that throughout the whole first through the fifth house. And it's asking you, are you communicating with yourself properly? So that when you communicate outwardly with everybody else, are you still communicating outwardly what you truthfully want to express? It is also having a conversation, that third house, the fourth house, which is your inner emotional security, is having a conversation with your 12th house all month. Again, coming into right back to Lilith versus Mars. You know, the feminine and the masculine. Asking you to take action on your passion, action, aggression. But of getting over grief, sorrow, shame, and blame. Hidden deception. Hidden undoing of yourself. Where karmic debts aren't being paid because you're not allowing the healing to take place. You're burying it in the closet. Where the bad habits have been created and they're still held on to. We're learning how to overcome this for your inner emotional security. For the true roots of the true self is what was just told. Now, as you come into We already discussed the 5th house. So we're going to jump straight to the 6th house. The 6th house is your daily tasks, your daily routines, your everyday mundane tasks. And I always say the people, places, and things that are in those everyday mundane tasks have way more persuasive energy than we realize. And we are actually consuming those energies. Now, it's asking you in these daily tasks, these daily routines, the mundane tasks of our everyday and the people, places, and things, as well as our diet and our own personal health care, are you getting your freedom out of it? Are you getting your independence, your individuality, your uniqueness? Are you being able to be the true inventive self within these mundane tasks? And the people, places, and things. Because you have Uranus here, which is still going towards Medusa. So it's saying, because Eris is Medusa the way I see it, and it's saying something about that creative 5th house, where I said Medusa was trouble, toil, strife, resentment, and where judgment has gone against you. Not being able to find that creative expression, not being able to let the inner child play and find that enjoyment and bring out the pursuit of pleasure that truly allows you to find those ticks that make you happy. These daily routines, daily tasks, something about them is clashing, is getting in the way of you getting truly right with your self-worth. No. With your independence, your individuality, your uniqueness, your freedom, your inventive self. There's something here that's asking you, what are you not allowing of your soul, that burning soul, to allow it to flame up and illuminate? Where is the daily routine working against you? And that's because you've allowed it to for too long. Where is it not working in your favor? Right off the bat, it's asking you to illuminate yourself in that way. Come back to that true self-realization of what you're allowing to happen in these energies that you consume from these people, places, and things of the everyday daily tasks. Diet, work, you know, like your daily job, your service to the world, your health care, your diet. You know, from the moment you get up to the moment you go to bed, these people, are they involved, these people, places, and things, are they helping you support finding the enjoyment in life, or are they in the way and clashing with it? It is also having a conversation with the 10th house. Again, that's those groups, those memberships, those, you know, the groups that you have, the memberships, the friendships that you have, are these larger groups and communities of people good for you in your daily tasks? And do they support your ambitions, your goals, your dreams? And if not, why are they still there? Because they should be supporting you coming into a realization of yourself and what you want and being able to express yourself. If not, it's bringing up the ideas of where there's a situation in this area. Yeah, more or less. It's just having that conversation throughout the month. Now, as we go into the 7th house for you, this is Gemini, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gemini doesn't have anything going on there. So in the relationship zone, the marriages, the partnerships, the contracts, anything you have a relationship with, you care about, you have a relationship with, including your open enemies like divorces, separation, lawsuits. There's nothing here supporting it in a positive or negative way. It just means you're in your normal flow. And that doesn't mean that it's good or bad. It doesn't mean that anything's coming in good or bad. It just means nothing's supporting it at this time. The only time you're going to notice anything maybe in that energy heighten is the 16th, 17th, and 18th when the moon travels through there, bringing illumination to what needs to be noticed. Now, I'm sorry. I got it's the 10th, 11th, and 12th, right when the full moon comes in. Right before that full moon comes in Cancer, if there's something going on in those relationships that needs to be acknowledged, that moon right before that full moon comes in is going to bring it to your attention in the relationship zone, and then definitely illuminate it in those relationships as to what the rules, the walls, and the boundaries need to be in those relationships. Are the rules of the relationships justice? I mean, are they just? Are they fair? Are they fair and honest and just? Because if they're out of balance of the finances, I got it, Spirit. Hold on. If they're out of balance in the finances, the joint efforts, the joint resources, and for some of you, that means sex is out of balance, because they're saying, they keep bringing it up, the act of sex in this area. And you got to understand, in a form, in a relationship between like a husband and a wife, I'll use that as an example. Sex is part of the job. I mean, it's not a job. It should be an enjoyment, but at the same time, it is part of the duties of the relationship. It happens. And is somebody more in control in a negative way? You know what I'm saying? So there are definitely rules to every relationship. Are these relationships fair? And you're going to be noticing it right as you come into that full moon at the 12th. Cancer is the full moon, and it's going to be asking you how you get right with this. Is it being nurtured properly? Is the feminine energy and its creativity there properly? Is it helping you? They're saying, so for somebody, you're going to be blindsided by something that's coming in around the full moon. I'm sorry, I'm just giving you what I'm being told. Somebody's going to be blindsided by something that's going to come in like out of left field at that full moon within the relationships. And for somebody, it's specifically going to be dealing with sexual issues. But this has to do with coming into, making balance within the relationships, the joint resources, joint efforts, joint finances, all the way across the board of what relationships responsibilities are and how that serves you or is not serving you, so that it's taking you away from your inner emotional security and your self-worth and your pursuit of pleasure. And Spirit keeps saying something to do with gossip. I don't know what that's about, but I'm just letting you know. Now, in the 9th house, you don't have anything going on. You have nothing special going on here. So 9th and the 10th house. So there's nothing influencing your philosophy, your morals, your spiritual urges, your ethics, your higher mind, your journeying, your psychic energy. There's nothing going on there influencing your honor and your reputation, your financial career, your social foundations. There isn't anything in these houses. But what there is in the 11th house is where the collective consciousness is. And that is that community again. That's those larger groups, your friends, your memberships. This is also the people who should be supporting your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions, the true self-realization of where it is you're wanting to go. You have the collective consciousness in Libra asking if these relationships are balanced, and is the sacrifice and commitment really there to support the situation? Now, in your 12th house, you have Mars, and that is Scorpio. This is specifically saying it is time to take action on healing the grief, sorrow, shame, blame, the hidden self undoing of the authentic self that you don't fully believe in yet. The pieces of the self that you still want to hide away. This is saying it's time to heal them and take action and bring it forward. Because Mars is passion, action, aggression, and fire. So for you, the whole month is, where's your fire? Where's your soul fire taking you? And will you listen? I love you. Bye.